In the past, the demon Lord Varvatos tires of his current life as he's become so powerful that no one sees him as human. Hence, he planned to have someone defeat him to prove his human nature once again. But there is no person strong enough to accomplish that feat. Therefore, his final option is to perform reincarnation magic. In the present time, it's the 10th birthday of Varvatos' new life as Ard Meteor, who was born to a couple of average normal people. Within those current times, the study of magic has declined. However, on the plus side, his body is quite athletic, giving him good strength and psychical capabilities. When asked by his parents what he hopes to achieve in his life, Ard internally thinks that he wants to forge a friendship of equals with someone. This plan of his, however, fails when he tries to befriend a group of boys and then some girls, but both times he fails to befriend any of them. Ard would later vent out his anger by destroying the forest by his house, and when he stops to take a rest by the doorstep of his house, he's visited by the mayor, Olhide. From him, Ard learns that the best way to make friends is to be kind and respectful. Pumped with energy, Ard follows Olhide's advice, and once again, he fails to make an impression to make any friends with his peers. Venting out his anger against the monsters in the forest, Ard hears the voice of a young girl in distress. Flying to the location where the voice originated from, Ard sees a young elf girl fighting an ancient wolf. Upon his inspection, Ard believed the girl to simply be venting her anger against the beast. Back at Ard's home, Olhide is served tea by Ard's parents as he talks about how his daughter has been acting withdrawn due to the bullying and gossip. Back to the girl, she turns the wolf into ash with a magic spell, and Ard believes the girl to be Lydia. Spotted by the girl, Ard tries to strike up a conversation with her, but his attempts of praising or critiquing her as a way of complimenting her fail. This leads Ard to simply ask to be her friend, which the girl tearfully rejects and runs away. Back at Ard's house, Olhide says goodbye to Ard's parents, and the girl, who turns out to be the daughter of the mayor, Irina, embraces her father. As she tells him how she hates the countryside, Ard returns as well and says that he followed Olhide's advice, but failed. The two would then encounter each other once more, which would lead to a series of Ard trying to befriend Irina, but failing each time. Eventually, a large group of monsters consisting of goblins invades the town. While fending off the monsters, Jack, Ard's father, informs Ard that due to a malfunctioning dungeon core, the monsters invaded the town. As it so happens, Olhide informs the two that Irina had gone into the mountains earlier that afternoon, and Ard blames himself for being too cordial with her. Flying off, Ard finds Irina surrounded by a pack of goblins led by a hobgoblin. Right as Irina was resigned to her fate, Ard arrives and eliminates the goblins with a couple of spells, and then finishes off the remaining two goblins and hobgoblin. Jack, now accompanied by his wife Carla, is shown to have defeated all of the goblins in the town. Although Jack is worried about Irina, Olhide is not, and claims that his daughter will be fine. Back to Ard and Irina, the two reconcile with each other, and Irina finally accepts Ard's friendship. Years into the future, Irina surprises Ard by getting in bed with him and suggests that they enroll in the Academy of Magic together. Ard and Irina both meet with Headmaster Gold of the Laville National Academy of Magic. Gold cordially introduces himself to the two as headmaster of the academy and notes their lineage as the children of national heroes. Because of the feat that Ard accomplished in his childhood, he was exempt from the practical entrance exam for the senior division, but is requested to still take the written part. Vowing to do his best in that part, Ard later finds out that he academically failed the exam. However, in other terms, as said by Gold, his answers far surpassed those that have been hypothesized. In other words, the answers that Ard gave have greatly improved the modern-day magic techniques. It's then that Gold announces to the students surrounding the area of Ard's genius, but also how he's the son of the legendary mage Jack and warrior Carla, who once slew the evil god Dicius. The announcement bewilders Ard as he's being put on the spot, and an elusive figure watches the scene as it plays out from the shadows. Later, Ard and Irina talk about their parents' past accomplishments while walking down a hallway. Upon entering their classroom, they're both confronted by most of their student peers who ask to be friends with them. Aside from those students, there was a small handful that did not show the same respect, and they then witness a young succubus be bullied by a noble student. Irina intervenes and the bully introduces himself as El Rado and the house that he belongs to, and justifies his actions by claiming the girl belongs to a house that serves under his. Hence, she's his servant by default. Ard then steps in and demands that the girl be treated fairly and that he apologize to her. This leads to El Rado proposing a duel between them to settle the matter, and Irina then recognizes El Rado as someone who accomplished becoming a mage square at a young age. As El Rado boasts about his lineage, Olivia arrives at the scene and demands to know if Ard was the central cause of the scene. Sheepishly, Ard confesses that he was, and internally hopes that Olivia doesn't recognize him.